The crystal chandelier shattered like a thunderclap in the heart of the Manhattan skyline, shards raining down on the tuxedoed crowd below, but it was the man's scream that cut through the chaos. A raw, guttural cry that silenced the gala in an instant. Alex Rivera, tray still clutched in his trembling hands, felt the warm trickle of blood from a gash on his forehead as the room spun into frozen horror. In that split second, as accusations flew like daggers toward the careless waiter, he wondered if this was how his empire would crumble, not from boardroom battles, but from a single, shattering mistake born of invisibility. Alex wiped the blood from his brow with the back of his hand, the metallic tang sharp against his tongue as he bit back the urge to roar. The Grand Elysium Hotel, his life's unyielding fortress perched on the edge of Central Park, had hosted presidents and rock stars, but tonight, under the guise of its annual charity gala for LGBTQ+ youth, it teetered on the brink of scandal. He had slipped into the waitstaff uniform earlier that evening, not out of necessity, but habit. At 35, Alex Rivera had built this empire from the ashes of his own fractured youth, a gay kid from the Bronx who clawed his way up through night shifts and whispered dreams. The vest felt like armor now, ill-fitting and stained with spilled vintage Bordeaux, but it hid the truth. He owned every gilded inch of this place, from the penthouse suites to the hidden wine cellars that held secrets deeper than any vintage. The scream had come from Evelyn Thorpe, the gala's imperious organizer, her sequin gown now dusted with glass like a fallen star. "You idiot," she shrieked, jabbing a manicured finger at Alex as security swarmed the lobby. "Do you have any idea how much that chandelier cost? This is a disaster. Ruin the whole event." Guests murmured, their eyes sliding over him like he was just another faceless server, the kind they tipped poorly or ignored entirely. Alex's heart pounded, not from fear, but from the familiar sting of erasure, the same sting that had chased him from foster homes to back-alley bars, where love was a risk and identity a weapon. He straightened, ignoring the paramedics who hovered too close, their radios crackling with urgency. "Ma'am, it wasn't," he started, voice steady despite the adrenaline surging like fire in his veins. But Evelyn cut him off, her face a mask of fury. "Save it for the manager. You're fired on the spot." Laughter rippled through the crowd, brittle and unkind, and Alex felt the weight of it all. The years of proving himself in a world that saw his queerness as a flaw, his success as a fluke. He glanced toward the grand staircase, where the real power players lingered, investors with checkbooks fat as their egos, oblivious to the man bleeding in their midst. That's when Jordan Hale stepped forward, parting the sea of onlookers like Moses at the Red Sea. At 38, Jordan was the epitome of Wall Street polish. Tall, broad-shouldered, with salt and pepper hair cropped close and ice-blue eyes that could freeze a negotiation or melt a heart. He was here as a donor, his tech fortune built on apps that connected the world but left him achingly alone. Dressed in a tailored navy suit that hugged his athletic frame, Jordan's gaze locked on Alex, not with pity, but something sharper, curious. "Hold on," he said, his voice a low rumble that commanded silence. "That chandelier's been faulty for weeks. I saw the wiring myself during the walkthrough." He turned to Evelyn, his tone brooking no argument. "Blaming the staff won't fix this. Let's get facts before we start swinging axes." Evelyn sputtered, but the room shifted. Whispers turned to nods. Jordan Hale's word was gold in these circles. Alex met his eyes, a spark igniting in the chaos, gratitude laced with wariness. Who was this stranger, diving into the fray for a nobody? Jordan extended a hand, steady and warm, helping Alex to his feet amid the crunch of glass. "You okay?" he murmured, close enough that Alex caught the faint scent of sandalwood cologne, earthy and intoxicating. For a heartbeat, the world narrowed to that touch, electric against Alex's skin, stirring memories of stolen kisses in shadowed doorways. "I'm fine," Alex replied, pulling away just a fraction too quickly, the vest suddenly feeling like a cage. He couldn't afford distractions. Not tonight. Not with the hotel's future hanging by a thread. Rumors had swirled for months. A rival developer, Marcus Kane, sniffing around for a buyout, whispering to investors that the Grand Elysium was outdated, its owner unreliable because of his lifestyle. Alex had poured his soul into this place, turning it into a haven for the marginalized, queer artists in residence, trans youth mentorship programs funded by gala proceeds. Losing it would unravel everything. As the cleanup crew descended, Jordan lingered, his presence a quiet anchor. "I'm Jordan," he said, offering a business card crisp as new snow. "If you need a witness." Or a drink after this mess? His smile was crooked, boyish against the sharp lines of his face, and Alex felt a pull, dangerous and deep. It had been years since he'd let anyone in, since his last lover, a fleeting affair that ended in betrayal and boardroom sabotage. Trust was a luxury he couldn't afford. Yet here was Jordan, eyes holding a promise of more than chivalry. The night dragged on in a haze of statements and stitches. Alex retreated to his private office off the lobby, a sanctuary of leather-bound ledgers and framed photos of smiling faces from pride parades past. He shed the vest like snakeskin, revealing the silk shirt beneath, his real armor, monogrammed with the hotel's crest. Staring at his reflection in the floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the park's twinkling lights, he traced the scar on his temple, a fresh reminder of fragility. At 35, he was at the peak of his power, yet moments like this stripped him bare, exposing the boy who'd hidden his first crush under baseball caps and false bravado. A knock shattered the silence. "Mr. Rivera?" It was Lila, his fiercely loyal concierge, a 32-year-old non-binary firebrand with a pixie cut and tattoos of intertwined rainbows. "The cops cleared it. Structural failure. No charges. But Evelyn's already on the warpath, calling donors." Alex sighed, rubbing his temples. "Let her. We'll spin it. Resilience under pressure. Double the youth grants from tonight's haul." Lila's eyes softened. "You sure you're good? That glass could've." She trailed off, knowing better than to baby him. Alex had hired her straight out of shelter 5 years ago, seen the spark in her that mirrored his own. "I'm unbreakable," he lied, forcing a grin. But as she left, his phone buzzed. Jordan's number, a text glowing on the screen. "Still owe you that drink. Rooftop bar? No vest required." Alex's thumb hovered, heart racing like a kid's. It was madness, inviting complication into a life built on control. Yet in the quiet aftermath, with the city's pulse thrumming below, he typed back, "Make it 2. And call me Alex." The rooftop bar was a jeweled box of stars and string lights, the autumn chill nipping at exposed skin as Alex arrived, collar unbuttoned just enough to breathe. Jordan was already there, leaning against the railing with a whiskey neat, the skyline framing him like a portrait. "Knew you'd show," he said, sliding a glass Alex's way. Gin and tonic, perfect, as if he'd intuited it. They clinked, the sound lost in the wind, and for the first time that night, Alex laughed, genuine and unguarded. Conversation flowed like the drinks. Jordan's rise from small-town Iowa farm to Silicon Valley kingpin. The loneliness of boardrooms where vulnerability was a weakness. Coming out was easy compared to the rest, he admitted, eyes distant. But love? That's the real battlefield. Alex nodded, sharing fragments, his mother's abandonment after his first rainbow flag, the foster system that taught him self-reliance over affection. The air thickened with unspoken hunger, their knees brushing under the high-top table, each touch a question. As midnight tolled, Jordan's hand covered Alex's, deliberate. "That chandelier? It wasn't just bad luck. I overheard Kane's people earlier, tampering whispers." Alex's blood ran cold. Marcus Kane, the shark circling his waters, a homophobic relic in bespoke suits. "You think?" Jordan's grip tightened. "I think someone's playing dirty. And I think you need an ally." Their eyes met, the city lights reflecting promises neither dared voice yet. In that moment, amid the glittering facade, Alex felt the first crack in his walls. Not destruction, but the dawn of something real, terrifying, alive. But as they descended the spiral staircase, shadows lengthening in the empty halls, a figure lurked in the alcove. Evelyn, phone pressed to her ear, voice a venomous hiss. "Yes, it's done. The waiter's out, and Rivera's next." The trap was set, and Alex's empire hung by a thread thinner than glass. The elevator doors whispered shut behind them, sealing Alex and Jordan in a cocoon of polished brass and tension thick as fog rolling off the Hudson. Alex's pulse thrummed against his ribs, Jordan's revelation echoing like a gunshot in the confined space. "Kane," he muttered, the name tasting like bile. Marcus Kane wasn't just a rival. He was a ghost from Alex's past, the developer who'd blackballed him a decade ago after a leaked photo of Alex at a Pride rally surfaced. 2 men kissing under rainbow banners, splashed across tabloids as scandalous. Kane had sneered in depositions, "We can't have that element running high-end properties." Alex had rebuilt from scratch, but the scar lingered, a reminder that power came with predators. Jordan shifted closer, his shoulder brushing Alex's in the hum of dissent. "I've dealt with this type, old money masking ugly prejudices. But tonight, that chandelier felt personal. His voice dropped, intimate. You're not facing this alone. Alex turned, their faces inches apart, breaths mingling in the charged air. Jordan's eyes, stormy blue, held a vulnerability that mirrored his own. A man who'd armored himself in success, yet yearned for connection. The elevator dinged, doors parting to the dimly lit lobby, but neither moved. Alex's hand found Jordan's jaw, thumb tracing the stubble there, a silent question. Jordan answered with a lean, lips meeting in a kiss that started tentative, then ignited, fierce, hungry, tasting of whiskey and want. They broke apart, gasping, foreheads pressed together. My sweet, Alex murmured, the word to surrender. Jordan's nod was all the affirmation needed. They wove through the emptying halls, past dozing bellhops and flickering sconces, the hotel's night symphony of distant laughter and clinking ice. Alex's penthouse overlooked the park's autumn blaze, leaves like embers in the moonlight. Inside, the space was a revelation. Minimalist elegance with pops of color, vibrant abstracts by queer artists on the walls, a bar cart stocked with rare scotches, floor-to-ceiling windows framing the city's restless heart. Jordan whistled low, shedding his jacket. This is you. Alex poured drinks, hands steadier now. It's home, the only one I've claimed. They sank onto the leather sectional, conversation weaving deeper. Jordan's hidden flings in college dorms, the ex who outed him to climb the corporate ladder. Alex shared the ache of his 20s, hustling as a busboy in dive bars, falling for a charming bartender who vanished with his savings and secrets. Love felt like a trap. Alex confessed, voice raw. So I built walls. This hotel is my proof I don't need anyone. Jordan set his glass down, cupping Alex's face. Maybe you don't need, but want. His kiss this time was slower, exploratory, hands mapping shoulders and waist with reverence. Clothes fell away like autumn leaves, bodies entwining on silk sheets. Alex's lean, tone from dawn runs along the reservoir. Jordan solid, marked by faint scars from a reckless youth. It was more than release. It was reclamation, each touch erasing years of caution. Gasps filled the room, bodies arching in rhythm. The city lights witnessing what words couldn't capture. Two men, scarred and strong, finding solace in shared skin. Dawn crept in, painting their limbs gold. Jordan traced lazy patterns on Alex's chest, heartbeats sinking in the quiet. Stay, Alex whispered, surprising himself. Jordan smiled soft. For now, but as they dressed, reality intruded, a frantic knock. Lila burst in, tablet in hand. Boss, it's bad. Evelyn leaked the waiter fiasco to the press, framed you as incompetent. And Kane's team just submitted a hostile bid, 20% above market. Alex's stomach plummeted. He scrolled the headlines. Grand Elysium Gala in shambles. Owner's staff blunder cost thousands. No mention of his role, just the vest-clad phantom. Jordan peered over, jaw tight. She's in Kane's pocket. I can pull strings. My firm's got leverage on his loans. Alex hesitated, pride warring with desperation. Accepting help meant vulnerability, but losing the hotel meant losing himself. Okay, he said finally, but we fight smart. The day blurred into war council. Lila coordinating PR spin. Jordan on calls to bankers. Alex poring over blueprints for vulnerabilities. The chandelier's service logs, tampered timestamps glaring like accusations. By noon, they had a lead. A shady electrician on payroll, wired by Kane's shell company. Confront him, Jordan urged, ever the tactician. Alex nodded, steeling for the showdown. They cornered the man in the basement laundry, steam hissing from dryers like accusatory ghosts. Talk, Alex demanded, voice like gravel. The electrician cracked under Jordan's glare, spilling. Evelyn's payoffs, Kane's vendetta rooted in old homophobia. He said places like this don't deserve owners like you. Unnatural, he called it. The words landed like punches, but Alex stood tall, recording every syllable. Victory tasted bittersweet, proof, but at the cost of fresh wounds. As they ascended, Jordan pulled him into an alcove, kiss fierce. You're a force, he murmured. And I'm not going anywhere. Alex believed him for the first time in years. But Evelyn waited in the lobby, flanked by reporters, her smile a serpent's. Mr. Rivera, she purred, care to comment on your little charade? The flashbulbs erupted, and Alex stepped forward, vest long discarded, ready to claim his truth. The press conference stretched into the afternoon sun, slanting through the lobby's arches, turning marble to molten gold. Alex stood at the podium, Jordan a solid presence at his side, Lila feeding him notes from the wings. Cameras clicked like vultures, Evelyn smirking from the front row, her leak already viral. Elysium fail, trending with memes of a bumbling waiter. But Alex had scripted this reversal, his voice steady as bedrock. Ladies and gentlemen, he began, hazel eyes sweeping the room. Last night, a chandelier fell, not from negligence, but sabotage. Gasps rippled. He laid it out. The tampered wiring, Evelyn's collusion with Marcus Kane, audio clips playing like damning verdicts. This hotel isn't just bricks and ballrooms. It's a beacon for those society tries to dim. The LGBTQ plus community, youth finding their voices, artists defying silence. His gaze flicked to Jordan, a private anchor in the storm. I've worn many hats here, from busboy to owner. Last night, I was mistaken for a waiter. Today, I stand as the man who built this empire against odds stacked higher than these chandeliers. The room erupted, applause drowning Evelyn's protests as security escorted her out, her empire of whispers crumbling. Reporters clamored. Mr. Rivera, your orientation, does it factor into Kane's grudge? Alex met it head-on, chin lifted. My queerness isn't a footnote. It's my fire. Kane fears what he can't control, love that defies his narrow world. Jordan's hand brushed his back, unseen but felt, a silent vow. By evening, the tide turned. Donors flooded back, pledges doubling. Kane's bid retracted under regulatory scrutiny Jordan's calls had ignited. In the quiet that followed, Alex and Jordan escaped to the hotel's private garden, a hidden oasis of wrought iron benches and blooming night jasmine. They walked arm in arm, the city's hum a distant lullaby. You were magnificent, Jordan said, pulling Alex close under a canopy of stars. Their kiss deepened, bodies pressing with the urgency of survivors, hands roaming freely now. No shadows, no secrets. Yet doubt lingered like morning mist. Over late-night takeout in the penthouse, greasy slices from a corner pizzeria, a Bronx staple, Alex voiced it. This war's not over. Kane's got tentacles everywhere. Jordan set down his slice, serious. Then we cut them. Together. My firm's auditing his dealings. Off the books for you. Alex searched his face, seeing not pity, but partnership. Why me? You could walk away, no mess. Jordan's laugh was warm, self-deprecating. Because in that lobby, bleeding and unbroken, you looked like home. And I've been searching for that longer than success. Nights blurred into a rhythm. Strategy sessions by day, stolen intimacies by night. Jordan moved into the penthouse temporarily, his suits mingling with Alex's hoodies, their lives intertwining like vines. One evening, after a grueling deposition where Kane's lawyers hurled slurs veiled as legalese, Alex broke, tears hot on Jordan's shoulder as they lay tangled in sheets. I fought so hard to prove I'm enough, he choked. Jordan held him fierce. You are. Not despite who you are, but because. The romance deepened in quiet moments. Jordan surprising Alex with tickets to a Broadway revival of a queer classic. Their hands clasped through applause. Alex cooking paella from his abuela's recipe, sharing stories of lost family under candlelight. But tension simmered. Anonymous threats scrawled on hotel stationery. Faggot owners don't last. Lila beefed up security, her loyalty a shield, but Alex felt the noose tightening. Climax brewed at the rescheduled gala, 2 weeks later. The lobby gleamed anew, chandeliers reinforced, guests and finery buzzing with anticipation. Alex, in a sharp velvet tux, greeted arrivals, Jordan at his elbow in midnight blue, their connection electric yet understated. Evelyn lurked in shadows, out on bail but unbowed, whispering to Kane's proxies. As speeches began, Alex took the stage, heart swelling at the sea of young faces, trans teens in gowns, gay couples hand in hand, the future he'd fought for. Then chaos. Sprinklers erupted, drenching the crowd in icy torrents, screams echoing as Evelyn's sabotage unfolded. Hacked valves, her final spite. Panic surged, but Alex vaulted the podium, directing evacuations with calm authority. Jordan tackled a fleeing figure, Evelyn's accomplice, cuffing him with his belt until security arrived. In the melee, Alex slipped on slick marble, twisting his ankle, pain lancing sharp. Jordan was there in seconds, scooping him up bridal style, carrying him through the downpour to safety. Outside, under street lamps' glow, drenched and shivering, they laughed through chattering teeth. The absurdity, the survival. My hero, Alex teased, but his eyes shone with truth. Jordan kissed him then, public and unapologetic, reporters' flashes immortalizing the moment. Kane's empire cracked further that night, arrests piling like dominoes. Weeks after the sprinkler debacle, the Grand Elysium stood taller, its scars polished into stories of triumph that drew even more patrons. Queer honeymooners booking suites, activists hosting summits in the ballrooms. Alex's ankle healed with a slight limp, a badge he wore like his grandmother's rosary, but the real mending happened in stolen weekends. Jordan whisking him to a cabin in the Catskills, where pine-scented air and crackling fires stripped away the city's armor. There, by a heart's glow, they made love with the slowness of men who knew time was a gift, not a guarantee. Jordan's mouth tracing constellations on Alex's skin, whispers of "I love you," slipping like secrets in the dark. Back in Manhattan, the battle with Kane escalated to courtrooms reeking of stale coffee and ambition. Alex testified first, voice unwavering as he recounted the sabotage, the slurs, the human cost. "This isn't about property," he told the judge, a stern woman with a rainbow pin on her lapel. "It's about dignity. For every kid like I was, told their love poisons the ground they stand on." Jordan's turn came next, his testimony a scalpel, financial trails linking Kane to bribes, offshore accounts crumbling under scrutiny. The rival's face purpled across the aisle, his lawyers sputtering objections like smoke. Yet victory's edge dulled with undercurrents. Jordan's ex, a slick venture capitalist named Trent, surfaced at a deposition, charming, venomous, hinting at leverage. Jordan always did chase strays. He drawled to reporters outside, twisting their story into tabloid fodder. Tech mogul slums it with hotel air? Alex scrolled the headlines in his office, gut twisting. Was this pity? A rebellion against his sterile past? Lila found him there, head in hands. "Trash," she snorted, deleting the article. "He's all in, boss. Saw him practicing his vows in the mirror last night. Nervous as a prom date." Alex laughed despite himself, warmth blooming. Jordan had proposed subtly that morning over espresso, a shared key fob for the penthouse, engraved with ours. No knee, no ring, just promise, raw and real. But doubt festered. Kane's final gambit loomed. A smear campaign dredging Alex's youth. Foster records twisted to paint him unstable, deviant. Protests erupted outside the hotel. Kane funded picketers with signs, "Keep it straight," their chants a hateful drone. Jordan rallied allies. Queer influencers live-streaming counter-stories, donors penning op-eds on acceptance's economic power. One night, as rain lashed the windows, they planned retaliation, a public unveiling of Kane's hypocrisy, leaked emails outing his own closet flings. "Two can play dirty," Jordan growled, but Alex halted him, hand on his chest. "No, we rise clean. Show them love wins without sinking low." Jordan's eyes softened, pulling him close. "How'd I get so lucky?" Their embrace turned fervent, bodies colliding with the storm's fury. Alex pinning Jordan to the rug, gasps mingling with thunder, reclaiming power in pleasure's tide. The trial's climax unfolded in a packed federal courtroom, air thick with anticipation. Kane took the stand, smug in pinstripes, denying everything with oily conviction. "Mr. Rivera's lifestyle invites chaos," he sneered. "The hotel's better off, sanitized." The gallery murmured outrage. Alex gripped the bench, nails digging crescents. Then Jordan's cross. Methodical, devastating, emails, witnesses, a recorded call where Kane ranted slurs. "Sanitized?" Jordan echoed, voice steel. "Like erasing people like Alex? Your bigotry isn't business, it's bankruptcy." The jury deliberated hours that felt eternal. Alex pacing the courthouse halls with Jordan's hand in his, thumb stroking knuckles in silent mantra. Verdict: guilty on all counts. Fraud, extortion, hate-motivated interference. Kane's empire teetered, fines crippling, his glare at Alex pure venom as bailiffs led him away. Outside, cheers erupted. News vans swarmed, but Alex and Jordan slipped into a waiting car, destination a quiet bistro in the village. Over Camelot pasta, toast flowed to resilience to them. "You dismantled him without hate," Jordan said, clinking glasses. "That's your superpower." Alex's eyes misted. "Ours." Later, in the penthouse, they celebrated properly. Slow dances to jazz on the turntable, shirts unbuttoned in the lamplight, bodies swaying into bed. Jordan's hands were reverent, mapping scars both seen and unseen, their union a symphony of sighs and shared breaths, culminating in waves that left them boneless, entwined, whispering futures. But peace was fleeting. Post-trial buzz brought Trent sniffing closer, cornering Jordan at a fundraiser. "This fling's tanking your rep," he hissed, photos in hand, blurry shots of Alex in the lobby incident twisted to imply scandal. Jordan rebuffed him, but seeds of fracture took root. Alex sensed the strain, Jordan's late nights, evasive texts. One evening, confrontation brewed over cooling takeout. "Trent," Alex pressed, voice edged. Jordan sighed, defeated. "He's bluffing. But the board's whispering. They want me stable for the next merger." Alex's heart cracked. "And I'm the instability?" Jordan surged forward, desperate. "No, God, no. You're everything." Their argument dissolved into urgency, clothes shed in a frenzy, kisses bruising, bodies slamming with need to affirm. Alex atop, riding the wave of Jordan's moans, nails raking backs, reclaiming what words wounded. Dawn found them spent, apologies murmured in a hair. "Fight with me," Jordan pleaded. "Not against." Renewed, they countered Trent, a joint statement to the press, unapologetic. Love isn't a liability. Support poured in, Jordan stocks soaring on the authenticity wave. Yet Alex's past clawed back, a letter from his long-lost brother, estranged since their mother's death, begging reconciliation but laced with judgment. "Heard about your lifestyle. Family's family, but..." Alex crumpled it, but Jordan unfolded it gently. "Let me in here too." They drove to the Bronx that weekend, streets alive with bodegas and bass-thumping cars. The brother, Miguel, met them on a stoop, wary but thawing over beers. "You built all that?" he marveled, eyeing Alex's success. Awkward hugs followed, a bridge mended, Miguel admitting his own hidden truths, a quiet marriage to his wife, but sympathies for the community's fight. Healing rippled outward. Lila announced her engagement to a barista from the cafe downstairs, the hotel hosting a small ceremony in the garden. Rainbow arches, vows exchanged under stars. Alex walked her down the aisle, Jordan beaming beside, their own commitment unspoken but solid. But Kane's shadow lingered. From prison, he funneled funds to a proxy bidder, a shadowy LLC snapping up Elysium shares. Whispers in boardrooms, sell or sink. Alex called an all-hands, staff gathered in the ballroom, faces a mosaic of loyalty. "This place is us," he declared, voice breaking with passion. "Not Kane's hate, not Trent's games, our stories." Cheers rose, ideas flowing, crowdfunding, artist collectives to boost revenue. Jordan pledged his network, turning the tide. One night, amid the frenzy, he dropped to one knee in the rooftop bar, ring glinting, a platinum band etched with intertwined ease for Elysium and eternity. "Marry me, Alex. Build forever, not just empires." Tears blurred Alex's vision. "Yes," he breathed, pulling Jordan up into a kiss that tasted of salt and stars. The staff erupted from hiding spots, confetti raining. Lila's doing, her grin wicked. Laughter echoed into the night, a family forged in fire. Yet the proxy war peaked at the shareholder vote, a high-stakes galleridix. Tension hummed as votes tallied. Kane's puppet, a oily exec named Harlan, smirking from the dais. Alex and Jordan stood united, hands clasped under the table. The announcement, majority retained, the LLC crushed. Elation surged. Harlan slunk away, defeated. In the afterglow, Alex reflected from the penthouse balcony, Jordan's arms around him. "We won," he murmured. Jordan nuzzled his neck. "Because we chose love over fear." Below, the city pulsed, diverse, defiant, a testament to endurance. The engagement ring caught the winter sun like a captured spark as Alex and Jordan navigated the holiday rush. Manhattan streets a whirlwind of twinkling lights and bundled pedestrians hustling toward warmth. Planning their wedding felt like weaving a tapestry from disparate threads. Alex's vision of an intimate affair in the hotel's garden, Jordan's nod to tradition with a nod to his Iowa roots, cornflower boutonnieres amid rainbow sashes. Invites went out to an eclectic circle. Lila and her wife, Miguel with his family thawing like spring ice, queer icons who championed Alex's causes. But beneath the joy, undercurrents stirred. Kane's appeal loomed, a venomous serpent in the courts, and Trent's barbs sharpened. Anonymous leaks hinting at Jordan's distraction, derailing deals. One crisp December morning, disaster struck not from foes, but fate. Jordan collapsed during a run along the park's bridle path, chest seizing like a vice. Alex found him, rushed from a board meeting, heart in his throat, sprawled on frosted grass, paramedics swarming. "Heart arrhythmia," the ER doctor explained, her face kind but grave. Stress, likely. He'll need a pacemaker, rest. Alex sat vigil in the sterile room, holding Jordan's hand as monitors beeped a fragile rhythm. You scared me, he whispered when Jordan stirred, eyes fluttering open. Jordan's squeeze was weak but fierce. Worth it. For you. Tears fell unbidden. Alex kissed his knuckles, vowing silently to shield this man who'd become his world. Recovery was a slow dance. Jordan sidelined from work, chafing at confinement while Alex juggled hotel ops and bedside care. Lila stepped up, her efficiency a bomb, but the strain showed, Alex's limp worsening from skip therapies, nights blurred by worry. Trent pounced, emailing Jordan's board. Unfit leadership. Time to step down. Jordan, pale against pillows, raged quietly. He wants me broken. Alex soothed him with stories, his abuela's tales of Phoenix rises. Then plotted counter. A press release framing the hiatus as prioritizing health and heart. Pun intended, turning vulnerability to strength. Supporters rallied. Hail Hart trending with well wishes from allies. Kane's appeal hearing arrived mid-January, snow blanketing the courthouse like a shroud. Jordan, still frail but defiant, testified remotely, his video feed steady. This man's hate nearly cost lives, he stated, voice resonant. Alex took the stand in person, ankle braced, recounting the emotional toll. The youth grants frozen by litigation, families divided by fear. The judge moved, denied the appeal, slamming her gavel like finality. Kane's empire fractured further, assets seized, his influence a fading echo. Spring thawed the city, and with it Jordan's strength. They resumed runs, slower, hand in hand, park paths blooming with possibility. Wedding plans accelerated. Vows penned in quiet evenings. Alex's words a poem of gratitude. Jordan's a pledge of forever. But Trent's shadow lengthened. He cornered Alex at a pre-wedding brunch, all false smiles. Jordan's always fledged prodigies like you, he cooed, slipping a USB drive. Watch this. For his sake. Alone later, Alex plugged it in. Grainy footage of Jordan in his 20s. Wild nights in clubs, a younger Trent's arm around him. Leverage, the note read. Walk away, or it goes public. Rage boiled, but Alex breathed deep, deleting the file. Confrontation came that night, penthouse aglow with candles. Trent, Alex said flatly, handing the empty drive. Jordan's face crumpled. I was lost then. Hiding. You found me. Alex pulled him close, kiss forgiving. We burn it all, together. They made love then, tender amid turmoil. Jordan entering slow, eyes locked, bodies a dialogue of trust. Climax crested like waves, leaving them whispered vows anew. Trent's ploy backfired spectacularly. Alex leaked the attempt. Ethical hacking traces proving coercion, turning public fury on the saboteur. Trent's firm ousted him, scandals erupting like fireworks. Jordan, empowered, restructured his board for diversity, his first post-recovery keynote a manifesto on mental health in tech. Alex beaming from the front row. The wedding day dawned golden, Mayflowers carpeting the garden in riotous color. Guests milled, hundreds now, the event a celebration of love's triumph. Miguel toasting with tears, Lila officiating with flair. Alex waited at the arch, tux crisp, heart full. Jordan appeared, path lined with petals, eyes only for him. Vows exchanged, in shadows and spotlights, I choose you. Rings slid on, kisses sealed under cheers. Honeymoon in Provincetown called. Beaches and bike rides. Nights tangled in beach house linens. Oceans roar their lullaby. They return bronzed, unbreakable. The hotel thrived. Expansions funded by gala surpluses. A youth center named for Alex's abuela. One evening, atop the rooftop, Jordan knelt again, this time with adoption papers. Our family, he said, eyes shining. Alex, tears flowing, signed, envisioning a child in their mosaic home. Years folded forward. A daughter, Sophia, with Jordan's blue eyes and Alex's fire, toddling through lobbies, staff her adoring aunts and uncles. Kane faded to footnotes, his downfall a cautionary tale in business schools. Trent, a pariah, humbled by irrelevance. Alex and Jordan grew gray at temples, lines etching stories of storms weathered. On their 10th anniversary, renewing vows in the same garden, Alex reflected, from a mistaken waiter to a life reclaimed, love had been the truest ownership. But legacy beckoned. Alex mentored young, queer entrepreneurs, Jordan funding startups with heart. Sophia, at 5, asked once, "Daddy, why do people hate what they don't know?" Alex knelt, honest. "Fear, Mija. But we teach light." She hugged him fierce, and in that embrace, the cycle broke. Hate's chain snapped by a child's unscarred wonder. The Grand Elysium endured, a lighthouse in the skyline, its owner no longer invisible. And in quiet nights, as Jordan's snores rumbled soft, Alex whispered thanks, to fate, to fight, to the man who'd seen him whole. Sophia's laughter echoed through the penthouse like wind chimes in a summer breeze, her tiny feet pattering across hardwood as she chased a row balloon from her birthday party. At 7 now, she was a whirlwind of curiosity, Jordan's analytical bent in pigtails, Alex's dramatic flair in every twirl. The hotel below buzzed with life. A queer film festival in the theaters, panels on intersectional rights drawing crowd from across the boroughs. Alex scooped Sophia mid-leap, spinning her until giggles dissolved into hiccups. "Papa Jordan says you're a superhero," she declared, serious as oaths. Alex chuckled, heart swelling. "Only because I have you two as sidekicks." Jordan appeared in the doorway, sleeves rolled up from post-party cleanup, his once-all hair now fully peppered, lending gravitas to his smiles. 13 years married, and the sight of him still quickened Alex's pulse. A quiet fire-banked but ever ready. "Cleanup crews here," he said, nodding to Lila's team hauling streamers. Lila herself, silver threading her pixie cut, winked. "You two lovebirds go. We got the munchkin." Sophia protested with a pout, but Jordan's tickle attack won her over, depositing her with Lila for a sleepover. Date night unfolded at their favorite speakeasy, a dimly lit nook in the village where jazz hummed low and cocktails whispered secrets. Over old fashions, they reminisced, the chandelier's crash a legend now, retold at staff holidays with exaggerated flair. "Remember Evelyn's face?" Jordan grinned, clinking glasses. "Priceless." Alex's eyes danced. "Or your rescue carry through the sprinklers." "My night in soaked Armani." Laughter flowed, hands linking across the table, thumbs tracing wedding bands worn smooth by time. But shadows crept, even into bliss. News alerts pinged. A new wave of anti-LGBTQ, plus legislation brewing in Albany, bills slashing funding for shelters like the Elysium's youth wing. Alex's jaw tightened. He'd poured millions into those programs, lives saved from streets that once nearly claimed him. "We fight," Jordan said simply, his tech-savvy already drafting petitions, algorithms amplifying voices. Their partnership, honed by trials, turned outward, founding a foundation, the Rivera Hale Alliance, funneling resources to at-risk queer families. Home that night, urgency simmered into passion. In the bedroom, overlooking a city alight with defiance protests, they undressed each other with deliberate slowness. Jordan's fingers unbuttoning Alex's shirt, revealing the faint scars of youth's recklessness. Alex's palms sliding up Jordan's back, mapping the strength that had carried them. They tumbled to the bed, kisses deepening, bodies familiar yet electric, Jordan's mouth hot on Alex's neck, eliciting moans that built like symphonies. Alex flipped them, straddling, guiding Jordan inside with a gasp of unity, their rhythm a dance of equals, peaks crashing in unison, aftershocks lingering in murmured endearments. Morning brought action. A rally at the hotel, Sophia perched on Alex's shoulders waving a sign love wins. Jordan keynote, his voice booming. "We've built empires on acceptance. Dismantle them at your peril." Cheers thundered, media swarming, the family's image a beacon. Father, husband, advocate unbowed. Challenges evolved. Sophia's school navigating bullies, her innocent questions piercing. Why can't Timmy have two moms like Aunt Lila? Alex and Jordan coached her resilience, story times laced with tales of their own battles, turning pain to power. Miguel, now a fixture at holidays, shared his journey, coming out late, his wife supportive, their kids Sophia's cousins in queerness. A curveball landed in summer. Jordan's firm-eyed expansion, a merger with a conservative conglomerate whispering clauses on family values. Board pressure mounted, Jordan's late nights returning. Alex sensed the fracture, confronting over a tense dinner. "They're asking you to choose, us or them." Jordan's fork clattered. "It's business, Alex. For Sophia's future." Hurt flared. "My life's work was called deviant for business. Don't make me the sacrifice again." The argument escalated, words weapons, accusations of naivety, fears of regression. Doors slammed, Silence a chasm. Sophia, overhearing, drew them pictures of happy daddies, her plea abridged. Reconciliation came in the garden at dawn. Dew-kissed benches their confessional. Almost lost us, Jordan admitted, voice cracking. Alex forgave, pulling him into an embrace that melted walls. They made love there, hidden by hedges, urgent, reconciling, Jordan's hands grounding, Alex's cries muffled in shoulder. Release washed clean, vows renewed under rising sun. Jordan walked from the merger, his exit a statement. Authenticity over assets. The firm splintered, loyalists following to a new venture. Hail Innovations, queer-led, booming on ethical tech. Pride swelled. Sophia's 8th birthday featured a cake topped with tiny circuit boards and hotel keys. Autumn brought reflection. A retrospective gala marking 20 years of Elysium. Alex spoke, voice thick, from a boy mistaken for nothing to a man owning his all. This is what love builds. Jordan joined him on stage, arm around waist, Sophia between. Applause cascaded, but an envelope waited post-event from Kane's estate, the man deceased in obscurity, a begrudging apology scrawled. I was wrong. May your light outshine my dark. Alex burned it, ashes to wind. No absolution needed. His victory was living free. Winter holidays twinkled with tradition. Tree trimming with Miguel's clan, Lila's eggnog spiked fierce. Sophia's school play, her as a fierce activist, drew tears, Jordan filming every bow. One snowy eve, as flakes danced outside, the family curled on the couch, hot cocoa steaming. Best life, Sophia yawned. Alex kissed her crown, Jordan's gaze meeting is over her head. Love's quiet triumph. Yet growth beckoned. Sophia's questions on legacy. What do I fight for? Alex pondered, then knew. They launched a scholarship, endowing queer youth with Elysium internships, cycles broken, futures forged. In quiet moments, Alex marveled, from that shattering night, a life mosaic, cracks gilded by grace. Jordan, ever his anchor, whispered one night, forever starts here. And so it did, in touches and truths, a story etched eternal. Sophia's teenage years arrived like a storm front, hormones and heartaches brewing under her once cloudless skies. At 14, she navigated high school halls with Alex's fire and Jordan's logic, a debate team, star advocating for trans rights, her essays published in youth zines. The penthouse, once a bubble of bliss, echoed with slammed doors and spirited clashes. Curfews contested, first crushes dissected over dinner. Dad, it's just a date. She'd huff at Alex's protectiveness, his memories of shadowed Allie's coloring caution. Jordan mediated his calm ballast, but privately, to Alex, she's us, bold, breaking molds. The hotel evolved too, a living entity. Expansions added eco-luxury wings, solar panels glinting like promises, while the youth center burgeoned into a full academy. Counseling suites, art studios humming with creativity. Lila, now VP, mentored a new generation. Her wedding anniversary toasted annually with staff serenades. Miguel's family swelled. His son, a budding chef, apprenticed in the kitchens, Paella nights a fusion of Bronx grit and Elysium finesse. A new adversary emerged. Not a Kane, but insidious, social media trolls, amplified by rising national tides of division. Hashtags targeted the hotel, boycott Elysium for its woke stance, bookings dipped, investors wavered. Alex scrolled feeds in the witching hour, vitriol searing, groomers and tuxes. Jordan found him there, screen glow harsh on weary faces. We pivot, he said, pulling Alex to bed. Their lovemaking was fierce that night, defiant, Jordan's body a shield, thrusts deep and claiming. Alex's release a roar against the void. Morning brought strategy, influencer partnerships, virtual tours showcasing stories, turning hate to highlight. Sophia's crisis hit sophomore year. A classmate outed as queer faced expulsion threats from bigoted admins. She rallied, petitions, protests drawing national eyes. The family stood firm. Alex testifying at school board meetings, voice thunder. Jordan funding legal aid, his networks mobilizing. Victory came hard-won. The kid enrolling at the Elysium Academy, Sophia's arm around her in triumph. You taught me, she told Alex later, hugging fierce. Pride choked him. She'd inherited not just fire, but fortitude. Personal tides shifted too. Jordan's 50th loomed, a milestone marked by a surprise trip to Iowa. Farmhouse reunites with his aging parents. Now rainbow flag wavers, their acceptance a late-blooming grace. Alex watched Jordan choke up at the dinner table. Stories of boyhood hayloft shared. Sophia absorbing roots. Back home, the party raged. Rooftop bash with Jazz and Jordan's favorite scotch flowing. Alex's toast. To the man who carried me through floods, literally. You've made me braver. Kisses followed, public and proud. Guests cheering as they danced under lanterns. Bodies close, hearts synced. But health specter returned. Alex's annual checkup yielding a prostate warning, early but insistent. Manageable, the doc assured, but fear not. Jordan held the fort. Research dives, specialist hunts, his love a lifeline. Treatments loomed. Hormone tweaks, vigilance, but intimacy adapted, tender explorations yielding deeper bonds. One post-appointment night, vulnerability peaked. Alex atop, slow grinds building to shattering release, tears mingling on Jordan's chest. I'm scared, he admitted. Jordan's arms tightened. Then we face it, like always. Sophia, sensing shifts, stepped up, cooking meals, her small hands steadying Alex's during chemo light sessions. Her growth thawed, coming out as bi at 15, dating a non-binary artist from the academy. Her pride parade float, a family affair. Alex and Jordan beam from the sidelines, signs high. Our daughter, our hero. Legacy projects crystallized. The alliance expanded nationally, chapters in red states battling bans. Alex keynote at a DC summit. His limp a punctuation to passion. From foster kid to father, I've learned love isn't fragile. It's the strongest structure we build. Applause thundered. Jordan, in the audience, mouthed I love you, eyes misted. A rift tested them. Sophia's college choice. California dreams versus family tethers. Arguments flared. I need to fly, she cried. Alex, raw from treatments, snapped. We gave you wings, don't clip ours. Jordan brokered peace, a gap-year compromise. Berkeley with Elysium internships. Tearful airport goodbyes followed, her hug lingering. You made me, she whispered. Empty nest echoed, but date nights reignited sparks. Spontaneous getaways to the Hamptons, beaches where they walked nude under moons, bodies still eager, hands exploring with wonder. Jordan's retirement whispers grew. At 55, he eyed philanthropy full-time. Time to pass the tech torch, he mused. Alex supported, their days filling with alliance travels, rural rallies, urban pride. One Texas trip, amid barbecue and bullhorns, a young man approached. Your story saved me, from ropes to rainbows. Alex embraced him, Jordan's hand on his back, the ripple of their lives vast. Anniversaries marked milestones. 25th with a vow renewal in the garden. Sophia, officiating, her speech a masterpiece of wit and warmth. You too? Proof love evolves, endures. Rings exchanged anew, kisses sealing, guests toasting to eternities. Sophia's return for holidays brought boyfriends, then a girlfriend, fluid, fierce, her heart a mirror of theirs. Grandkids loomed distant, but dreams sufficed. Alex's health stabilized, scars faded. Jordan's hair silvered fully, handsome as ever. In quiet eaves, balcony perches overlooking a changed skyline. Greener, gayer, they reflected. From that waiter mix-up, Jordan chuckled to this. Alex leaned in, kiss soft. Best plot twist. Their love, once a hook in chaos, now the story's heart. Kaleidoscopic, unbreakable, a testament to humanity's brightest vein, acceptance woven in every thread. Decades layered like sedimentary rock, time's patient sculptor etching wisdom into wrinkles and wonders into memories. Sophia, at 32, helmed the alliance with a visionary's zeal, global outposts, VR simulations teaching empathy to schools. Her wife, Elena, a climate activist, blending causes in hybrid havens. Grandkids arrived in a tumble. Twins Luca and Mia, with Jordan's curls and Alex's hazel mischief. Their laughter a bomb in the penthouse. Now Sophia's domain is Alex, and Jordan semi-retired to a Hudson Valley cottage. Rolling hills, a library of first editions. Mornings with coffee on wraparound porches. The Grand Elysium, under Lila's successor, a trans architect named Kai, thrived as a cultural colossus. Biennial festivals, residency programs birthing Pulitzers. Alex consulted sporadically, his limp a gentle sway, voice still stirring boardrooms. Jordan tinkered with open-source AI for social good, algorithms detecting online hate before it metastasized. Their love, matured like fine bourbon, simmered in routines. Farmers' market halls, trail hikes where hands linked naturally, evenings with vinyl spins, and slow dances in kitchens. A final echo of old wars surfaced in Sophia's era. A Kane-esque mogul, Harlan Voss, grandson of the proxy bidder, launching a chain of traditional hotels, ads veiled in exclusion. Bookings siphoned, whispers of boycotts. Sophia called a family summit, Luca and Mia doodling rainbows as strategies brewed. We don't punch down, Alex advised, wisdom honed. We lift up. The Counter, a documentary series Elysium echoes, streaming their saga, chandelier crash to grandkids' giggles, narrated by Sophia, scoring Emmys and empathy. Production days crackled with nostalgia. Reenactments in the lobby, Jordan hamming as his younger self, Alex directing with flair. One scene, their first kiss scripted, turned meta, actors stepping aside for the real deal, lips meeting soft, applause rippling. Still got it, Jordan murmured, wink playful. Nights post-filming ignited sparks. In the cottage's king bed, body slower but sure, Jordan's fingers teasing, Alex's mouth worshipful, climax's gentle waves cresting in sighs of still you, always. Legacy's crown came at Sophia's induction to a Civil Rights Hall of Fame. Alex and Jordan in the front row, hands clasped over canes. Her speech, "My father's taught me love isn't passive, it's the revolution we live." Tears flowed. Post-ceremony, grandkids mobbed, Luca asking, "Abuelo, tell the waiter story again." Alex obliged, embellishing for giggles, Jordan adding asides, the yarn of family lore. Health's final chapters wrote themselves gracefully. Jordan's heart, once faltering, gave out in sleep at 82, Alex beside, their last words a whispered eternal. Grief carved deep, but Alex endured. Mornings at the cottage, evenings with Sophia's brood, the Elysium his pilgrim's return. He penned memoirs from vest to victory, pages pulsing with raw heart. The hook of that shattering night, the romance that rebuilt worlds, the humanism of persistence. Sophia found him one autumn, frail but fierce, overlooking the Hudson's gleam. "You okay, Dad?" He smiled, eyes distant yet present. "More than. We did it, changed the map." She hugged him, and in that hold, he felt Jordan's echo. Alex slipped away that winter solstice, snow blanketing the valley like peace. The funeral, a joyous affair in the garden, rainbows arching despite clouds, drew multitudes, presidents, poets, everyday heroes. Sophia eulogized, "He owned more than a hotel. He owned our hearts, proving queerness a superpower, love the ultimate deed." In death, as in life, Alex's story rippled. Scholarships named joint, a wing at the Academy Rivera-Hale Hall, plaques etching from mistake to mastery. Sophia's kids grew, carrying torches. Luca, a filmmaker, Mia, an advocate, their grandfather's fire undimmed. And in the Grand Elysium's lobby, under chandeliers vigilant and vast, a plaque gleamed, to the man mistaken for a waiter who served the world truth. Guests paused, stories shared, the cycle of inspiration eternal. For in the end, Alex Rivera's tale wasn't of ownership, but offering, a gay man's journey from erasure to emblem, whispering to every soul, "You are seen, you are enough, your love remakes the world." And in that remaking, humanity finds its truest home.